There are two closely related tools to consider when setting up your course in Angel and managing it throughout the term. The first is the roster. This is everyone enrolled in your class. If you want to check your roster, you can go into your course and go to the Manage tab. On the Manage tab, you'll see the roster. Now, ordinarily, uh, eLearning will add all the students to the roster for you for your class. So at the beginning of the quarter, we will do a report that takes all the registration information and then feeds it into Angel so that the students will end up on your rosters. However, if you add somebody later in the quarter, or if you've just signed somebody's drop slip and you don't want them to have to wait until that automatic process winds through, you can come to your roster and you can add a user yourself. In order for a person to be added to your roster, they have to have an active user account. Unfortunately, you can't activate users. You have to request that of eLearning. But if somebody already has an active account because they're taking another class that's using Angel, you can add them. So for instance, I could click on Add a User and then do an account search. It's best in the account search to use less information than more, but I could search on somebody's student ID number, their name, their username. So for instance, if I type in LCC, I should get back um, Zoe Not a Real Student, because her username is L4Cs1. So if I choose Zoe Not a Real Student, I hit select, I can then give her any level of rights equal to my own or less. So in this instance, I want to make her a course editor, because she's going to be teaching this class with me. And we'll call her the instructor, and we'll let her know that she's been added to the roster. Okay. Now, one thing that's new, if you have used previous versions of Angel, you may not have seen this before. Over here, I can now give a lot more fine-grained control of what I want this person to be able to do. So, for instance, if I want to make Zoe a student, and Zoe has had an unfortunate history of sending some naughty email, I want to say that she can only read email, but she cannot write email. Or consequently, if she's been a bad person in the discussion forums, I might want to let her read but not post to those. Okay, so I hit save, and now that person is added to the roster. You also have the option of batch enrolling, or adding a whole bunch of people to your course all at one time. If you want help with doing that, please contact us in eLearning and we'll walk you through it. Okay, so I'm going to exit my roster. So now I know who's on my roster. Closely related concept are teams. And this is, I can put people on teams, and then I could use teams to limit people's access to lesson content, or to identify people as having done or not done something. I can create the teams, and then later I can use automatic tools to add people to those teams. So for instance, I might make a team called Can See Lesson 2, and the only way that you get on that team is to pass the Lesson 1 quiz, would be an example. But to create the teams, again, I go to the Manage tab, and then under Course Management, I can click on Teams and add a team, give it a name. I'll give this one a really imaginative name. I can describe it. I can give it a home page, a project. I can create a file sharing space. If I do that, then the students who are, or people who are a member of that team, will have a place where they can upload and download assignments on the Communicate tab. But for now, I'll just give it a name. And then as soon as I've created a team, it asks me who I want on that team. So for now, I'll put Zoe and myself both on this team. Okay. And I'm done. All right, there's some other pretty neat features there. Like, let's say I create, I've got a class of 20 people, and I create 4 teams and put 5 in each team. And then I have 4 people drop, and I want to rebalance it so that there are 4 people in each of those 4 teams now. So I could go here and have it automatically rebalance correspondingly, I could use the random team generator to create teams based on these random criteria. Like I want it to be only students from the entire roster who've already entered the course, say, would be an example. That's also gotten that capability has gotten a little stronger with the newer version. So that is an introduction to creating teams and managing your roster.